windows, too many windows, too many windows.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do.
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
But it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you want a man with spirit who is not afraid to fight?
A man whose record shows that he will fight for what is right.
A loyal man who'll bring the job a fresh new point of view. Well, it's up to you, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
Cause it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
And do you deny to any man the right he's guaranteed to be elected president, no matter what his creed?
It's promised in the Bill of Rights to which we must be true.
So it's up to you, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
And it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you like a man who answers straight, a man who's always fair?
We'll measure him against the others, and when you compare, you cast your vote for Kennedy and a change that's overdue. So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you.
Yes, it's Kennedy, 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 for me.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Welcome, welcome, welcome from my humble second bedroom here in East Saucon Valley, part of the Lehigh Valley, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, part of these United States, Western Hemisphere, North American continent, on this planet Earth. The only one we have, third rock from the sun, in the Terran solar system, part of the Milky Way galaxy. This is TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect Tonight for the 4th of March, 2025. Very, very good to be back here with you. A hello to. Let me make sure I get everyone. Not sure what that. We got an advert already in the chat. That's something else. Jessica says hello. Vampirus is here. Great to welcome back. Good to have you. I see Randall. Bettina, I believe, is here. Am I missing anyone? Gosh, I hope not. I don't think I'm missing anybody. If I am, my apologies. But welcome to all of you. Something I forgot to do. I don't think I can do it now because I think I'm out of time. I usually watch the YouTube here on the other computer. Somebody else was working up here today, and everything's a mess. Would anybody like to guess who was working here in the office today? You can probably figure it out, kids.
I have no knowledge of that, Senator.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's probably smart. Let me say, of course, welcome and hello and all of that good stuff. Very sorry that we missed you Sunday. Given the health news that I have received, it's pretty important that we do that we visit family. Let's put it that way. So that's what we did this past weekend. I will let you all know more of what's happening. Oh, new name in the YouTube chat, James. who mentions to tell Jordy to realign the warp coils. You are correct, sir. Excellent. Very good catch. By the way, recognizing that the background noises are from the Galaxy class and not from any of the other places on YouTube that you can find them. And there's a ton of them on YouTube, by the way. Some of them are 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I've seen one that was 24 hours long of just background noises. Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Discovery, which is just not a real thing. It's just not. Can we stop with it now? Not missing that at all. It was a beautiful program, but it just wasn't Star Trek. The original Constitution class, the refit, i.e. 1701A. What else is there? A Defiant, the 1701E. There's just a bunch of these things. So normally, I have explained this before, it's very inside baseball. Like very inside baseball. But the audio program that we use to get this program out, get the audio of the program out into the radio, has a bit of a feature in it that if it hears silent, or hears, well, I guess you hear silence. I don't think that's oxymoronic necessarily. But when it's silent for too long, an auto program will kick in to to turn the radio station off and play pre-recorded stuff. So if I take a breath, if I delay too long, if I'm trying to put a thought together, if I run out of air, I have asthma, you've all watched me run out of air, it's terribly fun, that background noise will keep everything going and it won't disconnect me. But regardless of that, good catch by James. Also very good to see you here, sir. I think pretty darn sure that's a new name to the program, so that's pretty exciting. Let's get through the business end of the program. You are watching and listening to TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect Tonight, for 4th of March. Thank God it's March. Get us to the warmer weather, please. 2025. We are live right now on the Facebook pages of Hot101.net, Ghost Claw Productions Radio, the TCP Media Group, Our Revolution Pennsylvania, and of course our home group Facebook page for all things that surround this program, That Other Side of Information. It's also the name of our YouTube channel. We are live there right now. We are also live on YouTube at Ghost Claw Productions Radio, which is where James and I believe Vampirus is actually at the YouTube as well. Yes, you are. That's where I'm finding you. The Ghost Claw Productions Radio YouTube channel. We're on 2 YouTube channels right now, which is pretty cool stuff. The audio of the program, of course, blasts around the globe via GCPR.live, GCPR.live, Ghost Claw Productions Radio .live. Plug us into any search engine, you will find us. I continue to recommend DuckDuckGo. They don't trace your search history. And please check us out at the main website, www.gcpr.live. You can listen there for free, but you can also find out everything you would possibly want to know about the radio station and more, probably more than you ever wanted to know. We are brought to you tonight by Smooth California, smoothca.online. Create a healthy skin lifestyle. Smooth California is a family-owned skincare formula whose main purpose is to promote a healthy skincare lifestyle. Smooth California is a healthy alternative to commercial products filled with chemicals and man-made additives that not only do damage to your skin, but to your body as well. Smooth California products are tallow-based, made with 100% natural ingredients without preservatives and additives. We strive to make sure your skin stays healthy and smooth. Visit smoothca.online, smoothca.online. Smooth California. Live a healthy skin lifestyle. I am getting Texted. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I'm aware of that. You know what? Good. George, I am aware of that. What a shocker. 15 minutes before I was supposed to go live, somebody decided to go on and block me out. What a shocker. But that never happens. Yes, it does. Happens quite a bit. That's why I didn't say it at the beginning. We are still live on the Facebook page of Hot 101 and the group as well, but not the actual station, because they're blocking me because somebody else went on. Unplanned, unscheduled, didn't read the schedule. Getting used to it. I'm actually very used to it. It's 6 years of it. I think that's what that look on George's face just was there. So I'm doing it for 6 years. I should say welcome to you as well. How are you, sir? How are you feeling?
Feeling all right. Just
back to normal, more or less.
Yeah, drinking more. I'm drinking more since Trump became president.
Well, I agree. It's one way to numb the pain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beer goggles. Even this administration looks better when you're drunk.
That's true.
Let's get into the program, shall we? I was not with you Sunday. I apologize. The schedule is going to get real choppy here. The next 3 months. I am waiting to completely lay out what the health issues are. I will explain everything to you Sunday, March 23rd. There's a really long teaser for you. Sunday, March 23rd, I will go through everything. We have scheduled a pastoral roundtable, if you will. I know Pastor Kevin Frederick. Randall will know. He was kind enough to actually connect us, and he's been a multi-time guest on the program. He will be joining us. Pastor Matthew Best, who hosts his own program right here on GCPR.live called Impolite Company. Airs on Saturdays. I'm half asking.
Third Sunday of every month.
Third Sunday every month. I should know that. You've only told me that about 10 times now. Pastor Best, third Sunday of every month.
And now 11. There you go. Sorry.
What do you mean and now 11? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Jeez. Yeah, and probably within the last, several days you've told me that many times. He hosts his own program here on GCPR. Go to gcpr.live. Go to the website. You'll find out exactly when you can listen and watch Pastor Best. And you should be. Pastor Best has had 2 full careers. He was as connected a politico as you could possibly imagine. Ran campaigns of all sizes all across the country. Worked on Capitol Hill. Worked at state capitals. He's done it all. And then heard his calling to serve, and has been a pastor of his church ever since. And he brings both of those worlds together on his program, third Sunday of every month, Impolite Company. Check it out. Go to the website to learn more. He is joining us on the 23rd. I've invited Pastor Clinton as well. I just haven't heard from her as to whether she can join us or not. That is Sunday, March 23rd, barring anything unforeseen. I will describe everything that's been happening, how long I'm going to be away, why I'm going to be away, and all of it. I'm also working on guest hosts for you so that you do not go without live programming. Not like you can't live without me, but when a radio station is advertised, you should stay live. So our goal is going to be to stay live with you. It won't be me here, but somebody will be here. Maybe George will finally take over the program and talk politics for an hour. No, that's face tells me possibly not. But maybe. But I'm working on it. Let's get into the program, shall we? You know what I forgot to do, George, was to download the new phone software. We could have tried that this week. I completely forgot about that. Perhaps, or maybe it didn't go that well. I see the hesitancy in that.
I'm still testing that with Solid Blue Silver.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll skip that for now. 267-227-9189, 267-227-9189. If you are feeling so inclined as to try to give us a shout, we welcome your questions and your comments in the chat. A welcome to, is that Tracina? I hope I'm saying that correct. Another new name in the chat. Very, very exciting to see new names in the chat. Thank you for giving us a try. We are here, of course, or at least scheduled to be here with you every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. Quick 1 hour hit program. And, of course, our big Sunday program for 3 hours. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's on Sundays. The Kennedy Effect and TKE tonight, right here. Hey, and there's John Quia saying hello. Right here on GCPR.live and these same video streaming outlets. Let me get into kind of the meat of the program, and that is at 9 o'clock, the circus comes to town. Well, the circus has been in town for about 6 weeks now, but the circus takes the center ring, so to speak, of the three-ring circus. And Trump will be giving his address to the joint session. It is technically speaking not a State of the Union because he hasn't been president. In the first year of administrations, it really isn't referred to as a State of the Union because he hasn't been there. Although Trump has been in the background now. He's been a presence, a daily presence in the life of America for a decade now. One of the really only famous quotes from President Ford is when the last Americans left Southeast Asia, and he said, "Our long national nightmare is over." Our long national nightmare has been going on for a decade now, and continues to be rolling along with a renewed sense of purpose, a genuine sense of urgency, and a hell of a lot more organization and structured plan than it had the first term. So tonight is his first joint or speech, I should say, to a joint session of Congress, a branch of the government, while listed first among equals. Remember, the first three articles of the Constitution lay out the structure of the federal government. Article 1 is the two chambers of Congress, the House and the Senate, the duties of each, the responsibilities of each, the powers of each. Article 2 lays out the executive branch, the presidency. Article 3, the courts. And while our federal government, is made up of three, the framers intended it to be three co-equal branches, each with checks and balances over the other two. The executive has become nearly all-powerful. And in a mere 6 weeks, Trump has made Congress irrelevant. And he has done this with the complete acquiescence of the Trump Republican Party, the Trump Republican corporate-owned fascist party that currently has control of both chambers. Now,
would this be characterized as the mental state of the union,
or lack thereof?
A lack thereof.
So, yeah, it's. I would call it his first joint session rambling stream of consciousness, because that's largely what it's going to be. But let me ask you, all of you out there watching, listening, and so on, please contribute to the chat. Give us a call later, a little later. Will you watch? Will you listen? Or will you skip it and just listen or watch and listen to the breakdown in the morning on the morning shows and throughout the day on cable news. I will not watch it myself because it's the circus. The circus is coming to town. The circus is in town. Who is it that just said in the Bettina says, my guess is he will lie. Well, I got to tell you, Bettina, I wouldn't put money on that because the return on the money would be shit. Vegas doesn't take bets on sports teams that are guaranteed to win. So I'm not I'm not laying money on that. Of course he's going to lie. It's what he does. And arguably, it's the only thing he knows how to do. So of course he's going to lie. He just lied again yesterday about how the United States has given Ukraine $350 billion. The truth is it's less than half that. He lied about that we've given more money to Ukraine than all of Europe, which is a flat lie. They have given more money, and some in total, as a continent, more arms, more weaponry than we have. Lying is simply, if he's breathing, he's lying. And I cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So instead of watching this farce
fiasco
live, I guess, should we watch the first episode of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace? I don't know. It's going to be kind of like the same thing. It's going to be.
Yeah. Well, you would hope that it would be like the Phantom Menace, largely green screen and CGI'd. But sadly, no. There will be actual live bodies in the chamber. I will choose to watch the punditry. I think I said that right. I already made a word. The punditry in the morning. I will not watch this live. And I'll tell you why. I am not going to learn anything from it. I'm not going to hear new proposals. I'm not going to I can't imagine I will agree with any of it. I simply don't see the point. Now, that said, and let me add this. We know that Trump is a man who it just lives for attention. All my rallies are the best rallies. We had the most people. The Photoshop doctored photos of his first inauguration. More people came to mind than anybody's in history, and this and that and the other thing. I believe that this will be a rather low-rated speech, and for me, it can't be low enough. If by some miracle, in a country of 330 million, you can't get uniformity on anything. Honestly, if you put 10 Americans in a room, they probably have a hard time agreeing that the grass is green and the sky is blue. His base is going to watch this, and they're going to lap it up like sharks and chum in the water. They're going to just lap up every word he has to say, as if somehow it sustained them, as if somehow it was food feeding their families. But I don't need any of it. None of it is going to be true. None of it is going to be substantive. Quite frankly, I suspect that during the speech he will actually talk about how he will not touch Social Security and Medicare, even though the budget resolution passed by both the House and the Senate, although in slightly different forms, that's why it isn't law, that was written by the White House, guts Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, CHIPS, basically ends the social safety net. Not just deprives it of money, but for all intent and purpose ends it. He's not going to talk about shutting down the Department of Education. If he does, believe it or not, I'd actually probably give him some credit, because that would be a level of honesty I don't think the man's ever approached. But I don't need to see him lie to me when I know better. I'll go for the fact checks that will happen overnight and read and watch the punditry that will happen in the morning. Now, let's be honest. If he comes out and quite literally pisses himself, Fox will still find a way to tell you how great that is. That it was planned, that it showed amazing leadership. Maybe he had a bad burger and literally throws up on himself. Fox will still find a way to tell you how wonderful that was, how strong it was. He wasn't afraid to get sick in front of America. That kind of crap. I don't need any of it. Give me the 3, 5, 10 major points. Give me the lies. Give me the fact checks. I can get that all in the morning, and I can get it in a hell of a lot less time than the hour or so, probably more like hour and a half that he's going to speak. Not to mention, I need to get to bed. I have to work for a living. But will you watch? Now, Randall already said in the chat, because I don't think I can put comments on the screen anymore. Can we? We can't do that with this version, I don't think. Randall says in the chat, I will skip the Trump circus, but the Democratic response he will be watching. A very subtle reminder, it's the Democratic Party, not the Democrat Party. It's been the Democratic Party since it was founded. That IC is very important. Democrat Party goes back to Joe McCarthy, who tried to tell people to call it the Democrat Party and then put the emphasis on the rat. It makes people try to make the party sound like they're made up of rats. Democratic sounds democratic. And Republicans and Trump Republicans and fascists have tried to take that down really since its formation. Quick history aside there. But yeah, will you watch? If you do watch, will you throw soft objects at the television? I recommend you don't throw hard ones and ruin your television. But will you throw soft objects at the television every time he lies to you? In which case, I think you'll run out of soft objects about 5 minutes in. Will you watch the Democratic response after? A couple folks in the chat have already said they will. I believe Bettina will be watching it. James mentioned it. Randall said he's going to watch the Democratic response. I think I got everybody, but will you watch the Democratic response? And during the actual speech, or rambling stream of consciousness, which I suspect it will for the most part, the man has a very difficult time reading off of a teleprompter. I've done teleprompter training. I happen to like a teleprompter. I think it's a really useful tool. I don't need it. I can give you a 2-hour speech right off the top of my head. I don't need a teleprompter, but I went to school and I've done proper news presenting where you stare into the camera and read off the teleprompter. It's not hard. It's reading. Most of us learned it when we were little. He's a very difficult time reading off the teleprompter because he doesn't read well. And because he thinks anything he has to say is smarter than anything that's been written for him. So the supposed, I guess, arguable, interesting parts are going to be when he goes off the teleprompter. And that's usually when the crazy shit happens. It's kind of like a volcano. The steam comes out, you can feel the heat, you feel a little rumbling. That would be him staying on script, watching the teleprompter. And by the way, him reading off a teleprompter is not new. Many presidents of both parties have done exactly that, so there's nothing to criticize him for using a teleprompter. But it's kind of like a volcano. He reads off the teleprompter, there's steam, you can feel the heat, there might be a little rumbling in the ground. Then he goes off the teleprompter goes off script, speaks off the top of his head, and that's when you get your eruption of lava. But will you watch the response? And how do you want Democrats to act during this speech? Do you want them to boo? Do you want them to all stand up and walk out en masse? Do you want them to heckle the crap out of him, as Republicans have done to Democratic presidents now at least since 2008? Every time he lies, do you want them to stand up and scream, "You lie"? Should they hold up personally, if it was me, I'd hold up a flag. I'd hold up some kind of flag. Liars are generally associated with the color yellow. So I'd hold up a yellow flag. That way I could stay silent. Nobody can, Sergeant at Arms can't remove me. Mike Johnson can't have me removed. I just hold up a yellow flag. Or just hold up a sign that says lie. Very simple. So should they boo? Should they throw tomatoes? Should they, I mean, you get my point. What should they do? What do you want to see them do? If anything, what do you want to see them do? How should they act? If they act any certain way, will it mean anything to you? General consensus throughout the country is that Democrats are not doing enough to fight back. And that when they are fighting back, they still do it a little timidly. We'll work with him where we can. No, those days are gone. How does a party whose mission, it's in the very name, stand for democracy, and then say we'll work with the fascist, totalitarian, authoritarians anywhere we can? No. That time's done now. We're in a fascist country. You don't work with fascists. You beat them. You remove them. You investigate them. You jail them. You dishonor them. You disgrace them. You call them out for what they are. So what do you want to see out of Democrats tonight? And if you know Trump, he doesn't generally like giving actual speeches. He likes rambling. He likes giving interviews. But he doesn't like giving speeches. He's giving this speech because it's attention seeking. The networks will cover it. Now, I will be honest with you, if somebody has time to look it up in the if anybody in the chat has a chance to look it up, I do not know if the mainstream networks will carry it. I suspect that they will. But I honestly do not know that. Will ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, regular, not the news channels, the main channels, will they be carrying it? My guess is yes. We know the cable news channels will carry it. PBS will carry it. I would imagine Free Speech TV will carry it, but they will fact check it in real time. And if they don't fact check it in real time, they sure as hell will in their post-speech breakdown. But I will be content to go to bed. I will not listen to it on the radio while I'm trying to fall asleep, because it will infuriate me too much. And because whether you like my brain or the way it works or think I even have one, I do have one, and I know better. So I don't even need to be laying in bed trying to sleep and hearing the shit that's going to spew from his face while I'm trying to relax and get some sleep. I'll watch it in the morning. I'll do probably Morning Joe, even though I'm growing increasingly sick of that too. I'll get the breakdown. I'll get the I'll get the highlights, I'll get the top 10 lies, I'll get the top 10 fact checks, so if anybody does stand up and heckle him or say something, I'll see all of that. I'll know more about this speech in 20 minutes than I will have known watching it. Susan is a new name. Susan Hunter from YouTube, in the YouTube chat, saying she's got better things to do and can't stand the sound of his voice. I agree, but there's people who don't like my voice either. There's people who didn't like Barack Obama's voice. He was one of the great orators of the 21st century, although we are not terribly deep into the 21st century. He is, well, we're a quarter of the way through it, come to think of it, but he's easily one of the great orators of our time. People don't like his voice either. It's the lie part. Do you want to be lied to for an hour and a half? I don't see the point. When you can just do a review of it in the morning, you can go to bed at a decent hour and get a review of it in the morning. And if you don't want to watch that review on Morning Joe or on CNN or wherever that might be, you can read it on any of the big news outlets. Again, I continue to recommend The Guardian, the AP, Associated Press app. I was using the Reuters app, but then I think they paywalled it because I seem to be getting blocked for some articles. The NPR app is a very, very good one. There are plenty of places that you can read about what you're going to see and not hear tonight, which is truth. So, yeah, drop it. I see a lot of comments in the chat. Keep them coming. Let me know. and George, you're right. I'm saving that for my recovery, I think, because I'm gonna have a hell of a lot of time on my hands. But anyway, let's do a quick reset. This is TKE tonight for the 4th of March. Thank God we are out of February. For the 4th of March, 2025, we are live right now on the Facebook pages of Ghost Claw Productions, Hot101.net, Our Revolution, Pennsylvania, and the TCP Media Group. We are live on our home group Facebook page for all things that surround our program. That Other Side of Information is the name of our Facebook group, especially to the new names that I see in the chat. I don't know if you're Facebook people, you're watching on YouTube, which is awesome. I don't care where the hell you watch us. I'm just happy that you are. Please come on over to our Facebook group, That Other Side of Information, same name as our YouTube channel, That Other Side of Information. Join our group and stay up with all the articles that we post during the day. That's usually what we're talking about here at night, is what we put in the Facebook group. And of course, the Facebook group is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can always read what we post, comment, add your 2 cents in over there if you still have 2 cents to rub together. We just invite you to be part of the Facebook group. We are live right now on the YouTube channels of Ghost Claw Productions Radio, as well as our YouTube channel, That Other Side of Information. The sharing in YouTube seems to be working recently. That wasn't working for quite a while. Audio of the program blasts around the globe via GCPR.live, GCPR.live, Ghost Claw Productions Radio.live. Following us on GCPR, Hurricane Girls, I believe. Thank you. George is nodding his head. Thank you very much. Hurricane Girls follows us on GCPR Live at 9 p.m. Conversations with T. Nathan from 11. And Thomas returns tomorrow morning, and I'm sure he'll have plenty to say about the speech tonight from 8 a.m. The Sound of Coffee returns to you tomorrow morning. George and I scheduled to return to you on Thursday evening from 8 p.m. and then again the big 3-hour show on Sunday. Let me hit a couple of the articles that we put up in the Facebook group today. We all know about the speech. I don't think there's much more to add on that. So let me do a couple of the articles that we posted today. Stock market has fallen yet again. I was, the thing about the digital age, things don't disappear. They don't go away. They can't really be scrubbed or erased. A page that I follow on Facebook is called the Iron Snowflake. A very progressive page, but hilarious. Terribly, terribly sarcastic and ironic all at the same time. Took a screenshot of a tweet from Trump from 2018 or 2021, I think it was, that said any president who sees 1,000 points come off the markets should immediately be impeached. Well, he's done that in 2 days. Somehow I think he doesn't mean it for himself. Heaven forbid. That's only for other people. But look in the mirror. Healer, heal thyself. The markets continue to dip on the impending. Well, many of the tariffs have been put into place. We find ourselves, I think, inching ever closer to war. I don't know if Trump thinks he'll avoid war by becoming... Oh, I want to ask you an important question, I think, before this is over. I don't think the stock markets are accurate, genuine, worthwhile measurements of the general, or I should say of the health of the general economy any longer. And I don't think they really have been much since Reagan. I've told you the story on the program before. When I was a kid, I remember seeing a news story that AT&T was literally going to lay off like 26,000 people nationwide, or was it 46,000? It was a lot of people. They were going to lay them off because corporate income was down, and they were going to do it as a cost-cutting measure. Now, anytime you would hear a story like that before Reagan, you would see a stock price plummet, because it would be taken as a sign of ill corporate health of that company. And then Reagan came. And on the news of declining corporate income, as well as laying off 26,000 people, AT&T stock shot up. And it was then, now that would have been early 80s, I would have been 12, 13 years old, 14. Something went off in my brain. It's why I remember the story. That something wasn't right in our country. That corporate stock prices went up the more pain you caused to people. So I don't think the stock market is an accurate, connected, worthwhile, legitimate measure of the greater economy. But it is of corporate health, if you will. As stock prices plummet, we see the damage being done by these tariffs and by this needless and mindlessly stupid trade war that Trump has started yet again. Because I guess the first time wasn't enough, So we decided to do it again. Mexico, Canada, China have all begun retaliatory tariffs. Now, we hear a lot. That just won't open for me. We hear a lot. There it goes.
When you get fast.
We hear a lot of talking heads on television talk to you about how a tariff is a tax. And, you know, that's one way to look at it. I don't think it's the only way to look at it. But it's one way to look at it. And it's a tax that's going to be passed on to you. Goods are going to cost more. Remember when... Oh, according on my end, I am. Software is still going. Counter still going. I am on my end.
I can't hear you on the website.
Well, then that's a website problem, because according to the software I am. I'm looking
Okay.
right at it.
All right.
Well, that's a website problem then.
Okay.
I know I'm not on 101 because somebody blocked me
Oh yeah.
and continues to do so.
Okay.
I'll have to talk to Earl after this. But that said,
Okay.
the butt software for GCPR is running. Were we on it early, or we had not been on the whole hour then?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I haven't heard. I'm gonna try to switch to
Okay.
a different browser.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's going on my end is all I can really say. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just from my end, I wouldn't know. Let me put it that way. But the stock market's gone down over 1,000 points. All the big indices, if you will, have gone down. So let me read you a little bit from the AP. The Associated Press headline: Wall Street falls again as losses wipe out all post-election gains for the S&P 500. Of course, I don't think I need to tell most of you the big three indices: the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P. We must be getting popular too, by the way, because YouTube has begun shoving ads in the middle of our program. They're not paying us for them, I can tell you that. They're paying YouTube for them, and they're dropping adverts in the middle of our live programs. So somebody must be watching. But anyway, stocks racked up more losses on Wall Street Tuesday as a trade war between the U.S. and its key trading partners escalated, wiping out all the gains since Election Day for the S&P 500. The Trump administration imposed tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico starting Tuesday, and doubled tariffs against imports from China. All three countries announced retaliatory actions, sparking worries about a slowdown in the global economy. The S&P fell 1.2%, with more than 80% of the stocks in the benchmark index closing lower. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slid 1.6%. The Nasdaq Composite slipped 0.4%. The tech-heavy index briefly reached a 10% decline from its most recent high, which is what the market considers a correction, but gains for Nvidia, Microsoft, and other tech heavyweights helped pare the losses. Financial stocks were among the heaviest weights on the S&P 500 index. JP Morgan Chase fell 4%, and Bank of America lost 6.3%. Markets in Europe fell sharply, with Germany's DAX falling 3.5% as automakers saw sharp losses. Stocks in Asia saw more modest declines. This is very, very simple. You can't lay tariffs on all imports coming from your largest trading partners and expect the corporations who do business in those companies not to suffer. Now, to be honest with you, some of the corporations deserve exactly what they're getting. They gave millions, if not billions, to Trump. They're getting exactly what he told you he was going to do. I don't need to explain tariffs, I don't believe, to all of you. Yet again, I'm going to do it, but I don't think I necessarily need to. Tariffs work. Tariffs are a legit, proven way to develop domestic industries and to protect domestic industries. But when you just blindly say, I'm going to put tariffs on every single thing that comes into the United States from Canada, that's not building, protecting domestic industry. Trump put new tariffs and raised some others on foreign steel products. I think that was the right thing to do because it's targeted and narrow. Those tariffs will protect whatever is left of the domestic steel industry. Putting tariffs on Chinese-made computer chips would make sense. As chip manufacturing returns to the United States and grows, a tariff on a very specific product like that would protect and help grow the domestic computer chip manufacturing industry. But when you say that you're going to place tariffs on everything, that's just blind. It's stupid. It's simple thinking. Very simple thinking for a man who at least claims to be smart. That's a trade war. That's just increasing prices for you for everything. And for all the red hats out there, for all the big red hats out there, for the ones whose red hat has like literally grown and attached itself to your head that it can't be removed anymore. The white working poor who supported Trump in record numbers, who shop primarily at Walmart and Dollar General. Every single thing you buy is going to get more expensive because it's all made overseas. Amazon. How many products does Amazon sell that are made in China? I'm using a bunch of them right now. They're all going to get more expensive. Just because Trump thinks he's tough. Just because he thinks he's tough. He's not wrong about tariffs. How he's imposing them is just mentally, properly simple. It's simple childlike thinking. I posted an excellent essay from Tom Hartman about how could Russia win the war against the United States without ever firing a shot. I've told you the story many times about Premier Nikita Khrushchev, who told his generals, we will defeat the United States and we will never have to fire a shot because greed will eventually get them. He has been proven to be correct. And I would ask you, all of you who are here with the live program, 8:56, okay, with the live program or watching on the recording, we've talked about the transformation of the United States, the completion of the transition from democracy to fascism, with a little soft transition of oligarchy there in the middle. Our next transition is underway from democracy or from fascism to feudalism. That transition is happening as we speak. But another transition took place this week. Well, starting last Friday with the meeting with Zelensky in the Oval Office. The reason I didn't talk about it more tonight is because I kind of let that. I wasn't here with you. The story seems to have played itself out, but we're watching another great transition has happened in this country. And great, I don't mean great good. I mean broad, sweeping transition has happened in this country. That said, I would like to ask you all, how does it feel to now live in a fully subservient, Russian, fully subservient part of the client state of the Russian Federation? How's that feel? How does that feel to you? We are no longer the United States, leader of the free world, head of NATO. We are now a subservient, subordinate client state of the Russian Federation. If we bordered with Russia, we'd be a province. How's that feel? How's that feel to you? How does that feel, veterans who voted for Trump? How does that feel? Because that's where we are. So much more for us to talk about. So much more for us to go over. But that is the end of our time for tonight. The speech is supposed to begin, or at least the pageantry of it, the introduction of the Supreme Court and all that BS. I suspect the full Supreme Court will show up, at least certainly the Republicans, the conservative fascist Republicans will. Watch it, don't watch it. I highly recommend that you do not watch it. That's my opinion. You don't need to listen to it. Just read about it in the morning. We will come back here with you on Thursday. I'm sure the speech will still be a topic, especially the big whopping lies. We'll go through all those on Thursday. For those of you at GCPR, Hurricane Girls starts right after us. For everyone at Hot 101, the music returns right after we sign off. So for DJ Lex, DJ Earl, and the entire Hot101.net family, I'm Jeff Kennedy. We'll see you again on Thursday night from 8 p.m. The music resumes right now. For those of you at GCPR, for Thomas and Gilbert and Gambit and T. Nathan and everybody at Hot101.net, Hurricane Girls starts right now. We'll see you again on Thursday from 8. And from everyone on our video streaming services, thank you so much for being patient with me as we continue to work through some very, very serious health stuff. I will tell you more about that as we get closer to the time where I won't be with you. That show on the 23rd is a big one. Go ignore the speech. Go watch something else. Watch a documentary. Watch kitten videos. I don't care what it is. But to every single one of you who was with us tonight, thank you so very, very much. We love you. You're a great family. Remember, Hurricane Girls immediately after us. T. Nathan from 11. Thomas again tomorrow morning. And we've done about all the damage we can do for George, Lynn, Kristen, Daisy the dog, and April Riddick. I'm Jeff Kennedy. We'll see you again Thursday evening from 8